picking the songs for the record was obviously most of them picked themselves. There was some variation, perhaps reflecting some of the new technology, some of the information. You can see exactly which songs are getting played the most in the world of streaming. And that's sometimes surprising. So some things were chosen because we can see that they register in the world of online streaming. They get a lot of listens. So Only the Wine is one track that's been included precisely for that reason. So that made the whole thing a little bit more interesting. That track gets a huge amounts of streams, and I think we're not quite sure why, but we think because it's playlisted, some influential playlist has held it as a track, and then it gets copied, and I presume then it becomes a thing in its own, and that the playlist is like a buzzword of the last few years, and I think that's been responsible. So that's, anyway, we let them, obviously all the main tracks are there pretty much. You can't include everything, so we left a few things off and included some of these other tracks which seem to be well listened to at the moment for whatever reason. I mean, I think it's not an exact science putting together a compilation. What you're doing is you're gathering what you consider to be the sort of highlights package together at a given moment. And it's really for someone to come to who maybe isn't such a big fan. Obviously, you might have hardcore fans who buy a record because there's a couple of new tracks on it and there's some new recordings of some of the old stuff. But it's a way of, they might know White Ladder and they might know The One I Love, and then by listening through, they might hear some things that they hadn't heard before, and a light on an album perhaps that's worth checking out, and then they'll get into a bit more depth with it. I don't know.